So it's important when looking at the function of the pelvic floor and the core, what happens above and through the rest of the core, which also includes the diaphragm and, very importantly, the breath. So our diaphragm sits in the rib cage, attaches to the bottom 5 ribs, and creates the top part of the abdominal canister. So it is very important as it affects the pressures underneath of it, which then come down to the pelvic floor. So I'll get you to grab a comfortable seat, whether it's on a chair, on the floor, on a block, or a bolster. You like to be crossed, or they can just be nice and flat out in front of you. So making sure that you can sit upright, so you're not really rounded too far into the back, you're not slouched to one side, that you are sitting directly on your sits bones. So just taking a moment to tune into your breath. So breathing in to a medium amount, and then just exhaling softly, nothing too forceful. So I don't want to see any yogic breaths or specific diaphragm breaths at the moment, just your quiet, normal breathing. So noticing what happens to your chest as you breathe in, what happens to your ribs, and what happens to your belly. If you like, you bring one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest, and take a nice breath in, and a nice breath out. So what most people notice is that as they breathe in, their belly expands, their chest expands, and then everything deflates on the exhale, which is great. However, what we would preferably like to see as far as a relationship of the movement of the diaphragm and its attachment points into the ribs to help optimize the pressures and the balance, as well as the reflexive activation of the entire core system, including the pelvic floor and the abdominal wall, is that we would have more of an expansion of the back sides of the ribs, so the attachment points of the diaphragm. So if you can, bring your hands onto your lower ribs, so below your bra strap height, or where bra strap height would be. So right now my thumbs are just on the back of my lower ribs here, and fingertips are on the bodies of my ribs around the sides. So seeing then, if you can, take a nice breath in and expand your breath into the back sides of the ribs first. And then exhale, let it go. So with this, you're moving the attachment points of the diaphragm, allowing it to more maximally move, not only front, back, but side, side. So then now what happens is all the pressures underneath of the diaphragm are moving as a more balanced unit. So then they're putting more evenly distributed pressure down below into the pelvic floor and also the abdominal wall. So let's try 3 breaths, just expanding your breath, 360. Breath in. Exhale, let everything deflate. 2 more, expand the back sides of the ribs. You can imagine the ribs moving like bucket handles that come up and out this way, and then back down. You can also imagine your diaphragm in through your rib cage like an umbrella, and as you breathe in, the umbrella expands, front, back, side, side, and then on the exhale, it gently collapses, not all the way. Good, 1 more breath in. And breath out. So you may notice with that breath that your belly and your chest move slightly differently, but they still come along for the ride. So if you can, in moving forwards with our program, see if every time you focus on your in-breath, you can think about that 360, more posterior lateral expansion of the rib cage, rather than just a belly breath.